Alright folks, how's it going? Jason Stevenson again. Yes, I got some goofy glasses on. Yes, it's funny, but they're the only thing I got right now and I have to be able to see. So, what we're going to talk about right now is the first portion, which is the first portion of this 6-week program on the spiritual road. And we're going to be talking about the vehicle today and tomorrow. The vehicle basically is, the outside of your vehicle, your car that's traveling down this spiritual road is the the vessel, which is us. We're the vessel. Today we're going to focus on the interior of that vessel, which is, things that well, this week we're going to be talking about the inside. Next week we'll be talking about the outside. As I go back to just explain that real quick. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. Today, we're going to call it natural limitations. The inside of the vehicle. There's five different characteristics, and we're going to talk about one, which is the gear shift, which is the gauges of the vehicle, which is our natural limitations. Everybody knows that. When you look at gauges, you can only drive so fast. You can only have so much oil pressure, and when you're down low on oil pressure, you have to refill, and so on and so forth, right? It's the same thing with the spirit. Whenever we're low on, our physical, strength, we need to eat, we need to drink, we need to exercise, we need to strengthen the temple of the Holy Spirit. So, the question is, have you ever heard that you're not strong enough, or that you're not smart enough, or that you're not smart enough, or anything like that? We all have. We've all heard it. At some point in our life, we weren't good enough physically to meet the cut. Military guys like myself, we train ourselves very intensively, and when we don't make the cut, it hurts. But it's just like God. That's how God is. We have to make the cut. But we're not going to focus too much on our natural limitations, our physical limitations. I want to go to an area that God showed me that is pretty powerful. That basically is, it's something that's familiar in the court of law. Okay, there's a phrase called statute of limitations, which basically means that law, action can be, how do I put this? Action can only be made for a certain circumstance or criminal act within a given time period. So that basically means that if someone commits a crime, the victim or the victims of the crime only have a certain amount of time before the statute of limitation run out. Like Walmart. If somebody was to steal from Walmart, Walmart can't prosecute once you leave the store or you leave the property. That's the statute of limitations. Well, God puts a statute of limitation on us as well. It's a time period. It's a time frame. We're unaware of it. We don't know. But we only have a limited time here on earth. We only have a limited time frame which He gives us to learn, to grow, and to minister. So we have to be ever pressing because of that, because we know our time is short. And if we don't fulfill what God has for us, if we don't step into our role and step into our ministry, God will take it away from us. You hear it all the time where, like myself, I didn't do what I was supposed to do at a job that I was at, and He took the job away from me, and probably gave it to somebody else that was more focused on it. Take David, for example. David, was charged with building the temple for, God to reside in Israel at that time. And, through disobedience and, just his decisions, he ended up not being able to do that. He had to pass that along to, his son Solomon. You know, and we know Solomon built the temple. Same thing with Moses. Moses was disobedient. He didn't hold the children of Israel accountable like he should have, you know, and he didn't get to walk into the promised land. You know, Jesus, on the other hand, knew that his time was short. He understood the fact that he only had a limited amount of time to get in his ministry and affect, you know, to save the human race from, you know, death and the final judgment and hell and flames. So the question is, what are we doing with our time? You know, are we spending it on video games like I love to do? I spend a little too much time on them. You know, here lately I've been cutting back. Do we spend too much time on Facebook? Do we spend too much time, you know, going and doing things that we like to do? So my charge for you today and throughout this week and for the rest, you know, basically the rest of your life, is to think about all that time that is used not to glorify God. I mean, if we sit in front of the TV and watch movies for hours on end, how does that get us closer to God? Every hour of the day, every day, at the end of the day, we should be able to ask ourselves, did we meet the requirements, you know, to move forward with Christ? Did we get closer to Christ in some way, shape, or form? So, you know, in that saying, you know, please leave your comments. Please leave, you know, a like if you want to. I'd really like comments just to see what you guys think about how the message is delivered, just how things are going in your lives, and whether or not this message is impacting you. And remember, this is a 6-week deal. We're on week 1, day 1, basically. There'll be, you know, 5 days a week. You know, the weekends, of course, will be, you know, for church and family. But it's 5 days a week for 6 weeks, and we're going to go from top to bottom of what God's shown me about what our spiritual walk is and all the different things that are involved in our spiritual walk. So I thank you, and please leave a comment. I just stress that. Please leave a comment, because I need to know where to take the series if I need to adjust it in any way, shape, or form. All right. Bye, guys.